I'm with Andy Nicholson, and we are about to walk through the WB studio tour.
Let's go in.
Let's go.
So the first thing that you can see are some of the real candles from the Great Hall. So these hung above the Great Hall, above all the actors. It was absolutely amazing. And they were real candles in the first films. And then once they got the image, they decided that actually they could just use a visual effect for that.
Okay.
But initially, about 200 children all sat underneath these candles. It looked amazing.
And if they were bad, forgot their lines. No.
And then the next thing that we see is we go into the Great Hall. Now this is just a pretend version of the Great Hall because the real Great Hall is at the studio tour in London.
So yeah, you can actually go on the studio tour in London and walk through the Great Hall.
You'll be walking in exactly the same place as Dan Radcliffe, as Emma Watson, Rupert Grint. You will open the doors and walk into the Great Hall, a bit like this.
Oh, so cool. Okay, we're gonna walk in. I know this.
So this is the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
And this is the actual Goblet of Fire, although there were two. There's an amazing Goblet of Fire that was handcrafted by one piece of wood, and it looks absolutely spectacular. But this one actually works. So to make it work as a special effect, they had to re-rig it and add some mechanism.
Let's rock that goblet.
So first of all it goes blue, then when it's ready, red. Whoa! What have you got?
It's me. It says my name. Well, I have to finish the tour, but right after that,
You're going to be a Triwizard
I'll
champion.
be a Triwizard champion, yeah. First female Triwizard champion.
These are the Proclamation Boards.
Oh,
so
cool.
They were all handmade, so Mina Lima designed the actual insides, then the outsides were created. Some of them are really, really light, just made of foam so that they could drop down when they were required and they all fall off the wall.
Oh, nice. So, okay, so yeah, they made them of foam so they didn't break.
Yeah.
And these are also from the actual
These were
movie.
all used in the film, so what you're looking at now, the last time you'd have seen that, they'd have appeared in the actual film itself.
So I have a weird question. How is all this stuff kept and preserved? Like, do they all have little tags and...
Everything is tagged.
Everything.
So there are people in the corporate archive, every single wand, every day would be signed out to the actor that was using
Wow.
it to make sure that everything came back. So it's like a huge library, and the studio tour can draw on that library and present these things so that people such as you that want to know a bit more about Harry Potter, they can see the real thing.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, whoa.
Professor Umbridge coming straight out of the Great Hall, a bit singed, a bit charred. She had had a bad experience with the Weasley twins, and that effect was created. The actress had to wear this amazing sort of vest underneath her costume, and as you can see, it would create a smoke.
So it was actually like a rig under, which I guess is under here, that would cause the steam to come out?
Yeah, and right at the back of the set, she'd be attached to a big long tube, and that smoke would come through and eventually come out through her costume.
That's so cool. I wonder, is it actually, can I put my hand over? I don't want to touch it, but is it actually hot?
Yeah, you can. It won't be hot,
No, it's
but
steam,
it might
okay.
be a little bit wet.
Oh, okay. Then I won't. I won't touch the costume that's actually from the movie.
But look at the detail from the movie. Look at this brooch here. We
Oh,
all
yeah.
know that Umbridge enjoyed her little pets.
Yeah.
And that
love cat
just
brooch.
shows you some of the detail that went
I
into
love
everything.
This too, the burned ribbon, the
Yeah.
burned crooked ribbon.
Yeah, so it's a great thing about costumes. You know, they had to look used. So after they'd been made absolutely beautifully, someone would have to go around and hack at them, make them look a bit dirty, make them look a bit worn. They'd take steel wool and make them all look a little bit worn. It's great fun.
I feel like I'm about to get invited to go to Hogwarts.
You'd like to get a Hogwarts letter?
Yes.
Well, in Privet Drive, all the letters actually came. So in that scene, lots of people thought it was a computer effect, but actually there were thousands of letters, and they had machines that would fire them in over the walls, down the
Really?
chimney, and even through the door. Would you want to see it?
Yeah.
Come and stand back here.
Okay. Yeah, I just assumed it was CG.
Right, give it 3, 2, 1. Ready?
Okay.
3.
3, 2, 1. No! Oh my god. I was expecting 1, not 20.
And after each
Oh,
take,
cool.
someone would have to come and pick them all up again. All 20,000 of them that would be in on one
Was it?
particular scene.
20? No.
Yeah, that's how many that they used.
Oh my god, 20,000. That's like how much mail I will get ever. That's it, the 20,000. And these are actually sealed. I won't open it. That feels rude.
So these were designed by Mina Lima. They were all hand drawn and had a seal on the back. This is just a printed seal, but all the original letters would have a handmade seal on them.
I got my letter. Ooh. Okay.
So this is part of Privet Drive, and Privet Drive appeared in 3 of the films. So we just tried to get a suggestion of the Privet Drive set, which is at the studio tour. It begins with the cupboard under the stairs,
Yep.
where Harry spent his first few years. Then, of course, in one of the later films, they actually created the cake that fell and absolutely covered the dinner guest.
Right.
And this was a practical effect. Do you want to stand underneath it? I
Yeah?
promise you, it's not going to
Okay.
break on this occasion.
There is an X here, which feels like I'm being tricked in some way, but I guess I'm pretty safe, right?
No, this is a replica, but the actual cake was designed so that it would split, and it was covered in goo and custard and cream, so that it would fall down on the actress and look like it was an effect. Lots of people thought it was a computer effect.
Yeah.
It was actually done, which meant after each take, clean you up,
I was just gonna ask.
get it reset, and get it refilled with all that great goo.
And do you know how many takes?
They did more than 10 for that scene.
Oh, 10.
So yeah, it took a long time and a lot of cleaning up.
Yeah, but kind of worth it because you probably got some cake.
Yeah.
Aunt Marge, right?
So one of the nice things about the studio tour is it actually shows you how films are made and how the effects that you see on screen, how they're actually put together. It showcases the behind-the-scenes talent. And this is an example of it. It's Aunt Marge when she was about to fly off from the back of the garden. And as you can see, that effect was actually made with a helium Aunt Marge.
They just dressed a balloon up like Aunt Marge.
Well, to start with, they would have her sitting, and they created an amazing prosthetic face for her, and she would expand and expand. For her costume, as it was expanding, they created lycra so that it would stretch and stretch and stretch. And then for the next scene, they recreated this helium and let it fly off.
Okay, I am amazed by how much of this is practical effects. Also, there's a little, I've just poked. There was a tiny little rip where she's coming apart at the seams, and I poked it.
Don't burst a balloon.
No, is it really a balloon?
Yeah, it is filled with that, yeah.
Oh, I see.
And that's your first visit to our mini studio tour here in Orlando.
And now is there anything in the tour in London that isn't here that is awesome?
Everything at the studio
Yeah.
tour is awesome. I think one of my favorites is the Chamber of Secrets door. And again, everyone thinks that was a visual effect. John Richardson created it with all the snakes moving and then the door swinging open. When visitors see it, they just can't believe it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm gonna book my tickets to London right after I finish my first year at Hogwarts.
Hope you enjoy.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Okay.